2, 1. Welcome everyone to our Divi Spaces happening every Friday, and thank you for taking the time to join us. I'll start with a quick introduction of Divi, so whoever's listening to us later on, they know who we are, what we do. And for those who are joining us live, thank you again. And like I said earlier, please feel free to ask any questions and also share some love by hitting on those emojis while we're talking. If you like what we're saying, or if you don't like what we're saying as well. So feel free to show us what you're thinking about. So, Divi, as you all know, we started back in 2017, and our focus has always been about making crypto easy and accessible for everyone and everywhere. And that's been the main focus for our products, such as the Divi Wallet, Divi DeFi, staking wallets, etc. With our new roadmap, we're also going to work towards driving more utility. And you've heard this for the last few weeks, and you're going to hear more about it today. And like Boy said earlier, it's about utility, right? So we're going to talk a lot about that today. In today's agenda, we're going to cover the refresh Divi blockchain, Divi 3.0, the new desktop wallet, the new foundation website, and the DAO. So lots to get through. We've only got half an hour, but we're going to try and rattle through everything. But at the same time, we want to take your questions. So if you have a question, raise your hand, and I'll let you in, and you can ask the questions then. So without further ado, let's get things on the go.
All right, I guess I can start off with just some of the updates that are going to come this weekend so we can get that out of the way from a support perspective. Please share with everyone, there are going to be some major updates going on this weekend. We're picking the weekend because, of course, so we'll have some quiet time later at night and those kinds of things, but there's going to be some major refreshes going on. And just want you to be prepared for that. So there will be times when your balances may not display correctly or your assets may not display correctly because there's a whole refresh happening. Lots and lots of work that the very nimble, very fat-free, all-muscle mobile team is working on. So, and we're doing it during a time when we have seen a little bit less traffic on movement on the chain and on the use of the mobile wallet. So it'll make it really easy for us over the weekend. So if you see that, make sure that you share it with everyone. We'll also put out an update. I'll tweet that on Twitter when we start, and I'll also put it in the Zendesk, so it'll have a banner there. But major updates coming this weekend.
And with those updates, what do you think people should be doing?
Nothing. They should just relax, sit back, and have some iced tea.
That doesn't sound too bad, does it? Perfect. All right. Rob, do you want to, while you're here, I think you're in the car, right? So shall we give a quick update on the DAO side of things as well?
Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking I should go now because who knows when my set cell will
exactly.
So the DAO had a vote this last week. It was about kind of like an encouragement, as we changed masternodes into bulk validation, about how we kind of reward people who've been using masternodes for this long. And if you read the DAO proposal, you'll see that it passed, and more details on exactly what it entails. But basically what's happening is people who are going to have a DAO until the last day, have a masternode until the last day, will be getting an NFT that will grant them rights inside the DAO going forward. It's outside of the normal governance, not outside, but in addition to the normal governance methods that are upcoming in the DAO itself. So that is really what it is. So really it's about, launching masternodes in the final time we have, relaunching them if you're already running them, in order to get these particular governance NFTs that will be available just for people who are running masternodes for the final amount of time.
Great, thank you, Rob.
That's it.
Perfect. Yeah, I figured. All good. Thank you so much. So up next, I've got a quick update on the website, and some launch times. So as you know, we've been working on that for a while now. Just before we get on to like when, voice, could you go on mute?
Yeah, please.
Voice, could you go on mute, please? Okay. All right, I think that's fine. That's good. So there are a few things we want to really focus on for the website. The website we have at the moment, the foundation, it's good, but it's got a lot of stuff in it. We want to do with the new website is about making it very easy to buy Divi. So when you get to the new website, and you probably have seen a screenshot I shared earlier this week of my laptop showing the buy button on the homepage. So it's very, very clear for people when they come on, and then once you click on that, it will show you exactly where you can buy Divi, and it will have links clicking out to the places. So making it very easy. All right, I'm gonna have to move from where I am. And then secondly, it's about showcasing the USPs of Divi and explain how we drive utility. And that's always going to be very key to obviously getting people to come to Divi, get the Divi coin. So that's going to be the second part. And then another thing that I'm going to share shortly with you all as well, so you can also have a look at it, is about showing all of the things we've accomplished so far, and what we're working on coming forward. So all the roadmap side of things. So I'll share that with you. You can have a look as well, so you get an idea of what's coming. And with all of these things we're doing, it's about also increasing and improving our SEO. So SEO is like increasing our visibility, making sure the website loads up faster so people don't drop out, and also making the navigation as easy as possible. And then it's all about making the website more agile. So that way, it's easier for us to make updates to that as well. And finally, we've got the new light paper coming as well. So Rob and myself and Voice and everybody else, we've been working on that for a while. So that's coming very soon as well to the new website.
I think the one.
Voice,
Go ahead.
do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I wanted to make it clear that I mentioned it last week. By the way, it sounds like you're at a nightclub right now. That there is, in many minds, no separation, but there is a difference between the Divi Foundation, which is the open source blockchain, which is where Divi 3.0 is coming from, and where all the utilities and features and functions, it's coming from the open source blockchain. And the new website is the foundation website. Is that correct in my statement?
Yeah, that's right.
So the new website is the foundation website, which is separate from Divi Labs, which is the who is building out
Correct.
the mobile wallet team. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Two completely different entities.
Yeah. So the current Divi project website will be replaced by this website. That's coming.
Yeah, essentially what you could say is today, even though that there is still the name, the Divi project no longer exists. Now that sounds weird and scary because you go, what do you mean I've always called the Divi project? No, that just means that things have morphed. There is the foundation, which is the separate entity unto itself that handles all of the open source, the blockchain itself, all the things, and anybody is open and free to use. Anybody is free to open and submit pull requests. Anybody is open and free to submit ideas to. And then there's Labs, which would be like Divi Wallet. There's also a Divi Labs website, which is a for-profit entity that benefits through the ability and offerings that it's giving to the foundation. But again, I want to reiterate that the foundation is a separate entity and that you're free to obviously offer up ideas and build things too, in conjunction with making the ecosystem better. So that's all I would add.
Thanks, Voice. Yeah, that's why I didn't even mention project. Just leave it out for now.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's going to come next week. We will share some screenshots so you guys can have a look at the roadmap. And like I said, the light paper is also going to come very soon. So there's going to be lots of really exciting stuff that we're working on, and all of which is going to drive utility. So more ways for you guys to get involved, use your Divi, and build on the blockchain. So lots of really exciting things coming up.
We also have a series of articles coming out. I think we can also talk about starting next week.
Yeah.
It kind of reiterates all the parts of the blockchain in the past, but also going forward. So we're definitely going to reiterate many times about the masternode changes, but also about the new feature sets that are coming to the project starting now. And I think there's about 10 articles that'll be submitted, so that hopefully everybody can get a chance. They're short. Everybody can get a chance to read them and relearn if you kind of stepped away, or learn once for the first time about what we're doing here.
Yeah, I think it's good because there's going to be I'm going to say it's not quite a bifurcation, because there is still the heritage that we'll have from the past, but it is a reformation and a progressive move forward to make the blockchain beyond what it was, and more able to be used for utility features and functions. And so you'll hear me repeating the word utility many times, and even in my own personal account on Twitter, I will say things like that. That's the key thing that these articles will bring into light, is that everything is still embraced as far as sovereignty and crypto made easy, but the utility will also bring a crypto made easy feature and function. And the answer is yes. If you want to build something, you want to create something, or is it possible? The answer is yes. But what about this? The answer is absolutely, fundamentally, unequivocally yes, you will be able to do it. And that was something that we couldn't answer for the longest time. Can we do this? No, that's on this blockchain. Can we do that? No, that's on this blockchain. Oh no, that's Ethereum. We can't do that. There's no such thing as no anymore. It's all about what you want to do when you want to build.
That's brilliant. Very well put. Thank you, guys. So actually, as we speak, those blogs have been uploaded. So the first 3 are ready to go. So they're going to be coming out next week with the new website. Right. I think it's question time. Do we have any questions on anything we've covered so far?
Let's take a look. We did have one question, which has come up a couple of times on YouTube. It's about whether or not there can be a return in some cases, and I think you spoke about it, to some of the video that we were able to do in the past. I know Twitter Spaces is more of a conversation, and it is audibly, it's audible centered, right? So it's kind of like we're all on a phone call together having a great conversation. But will there at any point in time, do you think, be a return to some sort of a video feature where people can see and chat and have conversations with people?
Yes, Rob and I have been talking about doing one very soon, actually, with the launch of the sidechain side of things. So we want to make sure that we do the video side of things for special events. So, that way we can get Nick involved and you guys can, see the rest of the team. So there's definitely one coming soon. We will share the details as soon as we can.
Good. There was also a couple of questions that I think that you were talking about. Maybe you have some insight on that. There was one about the Dev Journal. Do you have any information on that?
Yes, I do indeed. So Dev Journal is something that we talked about. We wanted to share. So the plan with that is we're going to be sharing from the Divi Wallet account on a monthly basis, like what the team's been working on, what's coming through. We looked at the option of, putting it on a website. So I'm being very open with you all now. And we started working on the website, but the thing is, like, having to work on another website, keep it updated, to maintain that all the time, it's a lot of work. And anybody who's done those websites, you'll know, right? And again, we want to focus on the tasks at hand. So I think the best way for us to do it, and we've been sharing all of the updates, every single thing on a weekly basis. So it's not like we haven't shared anything with you all. So the best way to do
That's
it.
True.
We keep sharing on our weekly spaces, and then we'll do a monthly update in terms of, here are all the things we are working on, so you guys have full visibility.
Okay, perfect. So that's where we'll stay focused. Is I'll bring what I know from the development team, and of course, coordinate with Neegs on that, and to continue doing with what we're doing or what I'm doing, helping them. And then, of course, if you guys do the monthly update, that's great. There was also a question which Rob, and I'm pretty sure that I can answer. Can and will the Divi mobile wallet implement account abstraction? And I think I'll just add, there's the answer that I would give. The answer is yes. It comes with the foundation and the release of Divi 3.0. All of those offerings and opportunities will be available as long as you maximize those offerings and opportunities. There can be all sorts of things that you can add into the Divi ecosystem. It's about utility, and the answer is yes. You can do all sorts of things that you would see on the EVM and those kinds of things that allow you to have sort of smart contracts managing funds and those kinds of things for you and doing that. Anyway, if you have any information you want to add, Rob.
I think we might have lost him.
Oh, did we lose him?
Yeah. He said he was running at 1 bar, so I think we might have lost him. And I think there was another question about the DeFi farms. So we will follow that up on Discord. So once we've got up with Josh, we will follow that up.
The DeFi farms. There was also one about the implementing subscription payments into the Divi blockchain, and they were asking about, of course, the if that was on the roadmap. I would state that subscriptions have been fundamental as part of the MVP process, meaning that vaults are part of the Divi special smart contract, as much as subscriptions are part of the Divi special smart contract. So upon release, right, we already have validator vaults, staking vaults running in the cloud using that special script. And so subscriptions will exist in the first portion of that build out. As Divi 3.0 begins, you'll see those kinds of features and functions start to come into play, because subscriptions are at least nearly as old. So we're talking about time-wise, as old as vaults are. And one of the reasons for the migration away from masternodes and upgrading them into vaults is formally, you could actually place it right at the feet of subscriptions. You cannot do subscriptions in any way in a secured, immutable process with masternodes. So you could say subscriptions were probably at the point at which we said the blockchain needs to mature. So I would say yes, subscriptions will be there in the beginning.
Great. I think that's all the questions, right?
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any questions from anybody here who's listening to us live? While they put their hands up, I saw you scribbling away on our Divi Short podcast series, guys. How's that going?
Oh yeah, I got the last one that I think I'm going to do, which is about Divi Buy, but I have 3 others that are not on our list there, and so you can see I've got some notes. I'll go ahead and refine those and make sure they're cohesive from 1 through 10, and they marry together very well. And then I'll start recording them. And so yeah, we should start being able to get those out weekly. And they will be simple. These shorts that we're talking about will be Divi centered in some cases, but in other ways that they will be done. How do we say it? Nothing about crypto is simple, right? We can use simple analogies. They will be simplified, and they will be tools that you can use and you can share when people have specific questions, whether it's about how Bitcoin works or Ethereum works. And you got to figure they're only going to be, a few hundred words. So I'm going to try to squeeze as much in as possible to make it easy, and maybe you'll enjoy them, but that they will be shareable, bite-sized pieces. And they are something separate from the articles that like Rob is doing, which will be a little bit more heady, a little bit more detailed as far as wanting to do discovery, but they should complement one another. And so the shorts will complement most of the things that are being done, whether it's from the development side or the marketing side or the blog side, everything will come together on the same palette, right? That's what it will be, but these will be a lot lighter weight.
Yeah, perfect. And also it's all about, increasing our touch points so people can find Divi in all sorts of places, right? And this is another step towards achieving that.
Correct.
Perfect. Doesn't look like there are any questions.
Any questions, anyone? We get the questions in advance now, so that makes it easy.
Yeah. All right.
For those of you who don't know, make sure that if you have a question and you want to get it in advance, right? I encourage you to open up your mic and chat with us. That's the best kind of conversation. But there is that link that I send out. It doesn't change. So if you filled out a question the week before, you can use the same link again. I do repost it every week. Make sure that you get your questions in there. Hard questions, easy questions, whatever kind of questions. You notice that I don't mention your name, so you don't have to be embarrassed about it. If you don't want to be known for asking the questions, just enter it in there and we'll read it out. I'll read it out as much as I can, and we'll go ahead and get the right people to answer those questions.
Perfect. All right. I think we've actually finished in under 30 minutes.
Well, that's the goal. These were originally 15 to 30 minute shows, right? So look, we're doing okay. So I'll stop talking now.
Cool. Thank you so much, boys. And thank you, Rob. And thank you, everybody else.